Are you tired of being overcharged and forced into paying a monthly subscription for your Mac and Windows software? Well, if you are, currently we're having a 50% off discount on all the latest Mac and Windows software, such as AutoCAD, SolidWorks, Photoshop, Microsoft Office, and much more. Our 50% off discount will be ending soon, so be sure to text us "Need Software" to 323-405-1341. That's 323-405-1341. We aim to please, so expect 24/7 technical support, the latest premium software, instant software links delivered to your email, and PayPal buyer's protection guarantee.
Called super predators. No conscience, no empathy. We can talk about why they ended up that way, but first we have to bring them to heel.
The irony, the government gave us drugs to sniff and smoke, then incarcerated us when we distribute coke. Public housing where the richest folks wear fancy furs, Joe Namath in the jets with expensive coats. They made a profit off of Reaganomics. When I speak, your favorite artist and change the topic. I'm Huey Newton, revolution, can't wait to start it. You Cam Newton, was a Panther, turned patriotic.
Where does the Brother J delivery come from? Because you don't rhyme in a necessarily a traditional fashion, like as far as how you pronounce your words and all of that. Your diction was very clear, very, first of all, I was telling you, probably my favorite X-Clan record, and not just X-Clan record, this might be one of my favorite records, period, is fucking Verbal Milk. Okay?
Yes,
yuck.
sir.
Brother J says yuck. Okay? From the production on that song to just the way it starts, yes, yes, blue. Like, hold up, let's go right. Just stop right there. The way you say blue, and thank you, Jamel Shabazz. If I didn't say so, Jamel Shabazz gave a donation. He said, "Peace, both of you and your groups helped enlighten me during my teenage years, and I appreciate seeing you. Both were sincere."
Blessings.
I appreciate seeing that we were sincere, but thank you, Jamel. But yes, yes, blue. Come on to gold. I'm going backwards to the east. Tweedledee, Tweedledum. Like there was this texture and like conscious like stretching of the word and like you know what I mean? Like and saying it very crisply. But still cool with this fucking hip hop swag. Like, where did that come from? That style? Because that was kind of new to me. Like, that was new.
All right, so give thanks. That preparation of how I deliver was trained in when I used to do school plays. You know what I'm saying? School plays, you have to enunciate, solid. So, because you're not mic'd. You know what I'm saying?
And they take you to project to the back of the room and all of that type of shit.
So I did all plays in school. If it be the Christmas thing, I don't care what the theme was. I always participated in those get downs. And it wasn't like, I wanted people to clap for me or anything. I just like memorizing the script and delivering the timing of that. You know what I'm saying? I like doing my part. You know what I'm saying? So learning that, I probably would have been a preacher in a church or something. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't do hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Not to be with the just necessarily churchianity or anything, but I would have been some kind of speaker and orator of that level. So with the music thing, I had to please both my elder audience, because remember, coming into the movement, I got a whole different audience. It's not like rap dudes is waiting for my stoop rap. It's dudes that want to, listen to this rap thing and understand it, because my elders didn't like hip hop, dog. You know what I'm saying? Sonny Carson, he didn't believe in Lumumba when he bought the Black Watch the first time. You know what I'm saying? And that's why Raise the Flag and Heed the Word was big for all of us in the movement, because it brought their understanding to what we wanted to do. It wasn't like, somebody do a demo, like a mixtape level demo, just rapping over a loop. It was produced, it was solid, and then it had a label attached. We doing stuff at Boys and Girls High, at the African Festival now. Is big crowds, because Ralph and them is playing our shit, you know what I'm saying, rotating in the city. So back to the, to the delivery. If that delivery wasn't clear and I'm just rapping, on some battle rap shit, the elders wouldn't have fucked with me, my lord. You know what I'm saying? Just right. Being 100. So I had to give it a little bit of, because in rap, you want your name to be respected. So you don't want to be elementary. You know what I'm saying? You want to show the looseness, like you said, with Verbal Milk. It was like, almost like it was coming off my dome. You know what I'm saying? But I'm injecting little pockets of knowledge here and there. And that's the funkin' lesson. That's the style that I want to impress upon folks. So, they seeing the clarity, the content, and then just matching with the track. When I made that beat in my basement, at first it was just a honeybee sample by itself. But now that we signed, we're not on demo status no more. We're not just busting in the basement, just rocking anymore. So the beat had to be bigger. So I had to double the drums up. You know what I'm saying? And then
you made that beat?
I produced that album, my lord. Yeah, that was my first time in the lab outside of my turntables and my little 8-second sampler. I didn't even have the Akai joint yet. The little 950. We had to go to INS for all of the, the outboard gear and all that shit.
So I always thought that it was like Sugar Shaft and these other brothers that were behind the music side of X-Clan. So you're telling me you did all of this?
Me and Shaft in my basement in Flatbush did that project, bro. My architect was more like a co-manager. Him and Lumumba was our manager, dog. He wasn't a part of the group.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And nor was Architect. Architect brought me to meet Lumumba. I met Lumumba at the Milky Way spot. And was it 14th Street, Manhattan, the Milky Way?
Right, yeah, I remember that spot. Yeah.
I met him there with when Cash Money was getting down with Marvelous, and Scratch was performing with the twins that used to hype with Redman. Yeah. So I met him at that club, and there was no crowns, no nothing. We both had the same Yankee hat on, and he was talking about this movement where he had, the elders' kids coming to get down with him, and they were doing security and stuff. So
now, did you know that this was Sonny Carson's son? Did you know that?
I didn't understand the impact of that. You know what I'm saying?
Who Sonny Carson was. And for those that might not know, why don't you tell the people a little bit about Sonny Carson?
Well, Sonny Carson is a Black nationalist who basically opened the door for a lot of movements like the Committee to Honor Black Heroes, December 12th movement. He spoke up for a lot of things that we take for granted in Brooklyn, like ownership. You know what I'm saying? Steadily stressing brothers to own, where people were coming into from other lands and taking us and serving us a product, feeding us to ourselves, basically. You know what I'm saying? While we get poorer and other ethnicities were getting richer, he stood up for getting us empowered. So, just one of the few things that he's been involved with. So he was influencing Lumumba to take a lot of the themes that they were on, like Close the Crack House, for instance. That was a elders, movement, because they were watching the generations go back into the cocaine that killed their generation. All right. So he was passing on themes of knowledge to PX, and then we would take it and process it into lyrics and, you know, and ways to put it into this music without being preachy. You know what I'm saying? That's back to the style thing that you're saying. You know, if you take a theme like that, you can't battle rap that out. You know what I'm saying? You got to produce that. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I knew my responsibility. You know, I'm not going to put PX, Lumumba, and them into what it takes to chisel that. You know, when an artist takes that time to compose, that's a sacred space, you know, and he's not an MC type of dude. Right. You know what I'm saying? At all. You know, he shouldn't even been doing those albums. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
just being 100.
But you know, he to me kind of represented what like Flavor Flav represented to Public Enemy, sonic wise. Not necessarily like that he was like, you know, wild like a Flavor Flav, but yeah, you know, you got Chuck, that's the real rapper, and then you got this personality that inserts himself at times on the record. You know what I mean? Says what and then pulls out, like, you know what I mean?
I'm glad you said that, because I didn't want him to be a Flavor Flav, dog. I said, dog,
no one took him like that because he was more serious than Flav.
Correct. And he started getting, you know, the game, I call it the bug, when the game gets to you, like it's like almost like a parasite that kind of swells the ego up in a strange place. You know what I'm saying? So now we getting more popular and people like the signature of your voice. You say, well, damn, you know, I should do an album. That's not why you here. You know what I'm saying? You know, so that's the thing that kind of bothered me about the game, because the game came to us. It wasn't like we was chasing down, trying to do whatever. Our label knew that we were shaking up the streets. You see us on Daily News with, you know, with Sonny Carson doing some shit in the streets. We wasn't first seen for rapping and shit. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that. Our movement was out there first, you know? So, you know, so my whole thing with the movement and the music thing, it just clashed in a strange fashion, God body, and it just blew the God's head up to where he thought he was a rapper. And I was already like, I was writing those pieces for him. Right. You know what I'm saying? To show him like, I need to break my voice up, because you hear one voice all the time. You know what I'm saying? So you got to break it up. So I gave parts to Architect that he was supposed to do. Like Tribal Jam was supposed to be Architect in the beginning. That wasn't PX. I wrote that for Architect. And then PX came in and said, you don't need to even speak. You know what I'm saying? He had always had a problem with Architect doing things. And I thought Architect had a great voice. You know what I'm saying? But he was not one to ruffle the feathers of the process. It didn't matter nowhere which way to him. You know what I'm saying? But I thought it was selfish that Architect was not on it. And it wasn't like we had to listen to PX. PX was our spokesman. It wasn't like he was our master or some shit. You know what I'm saying? He was our spokesman. You know what I'm saying? And you're the son of somebody that we respect. So there's kind of a protocol of respect for someone who founded something that brought us all together. So, you know, when his ego was growing, we didn't see it like that, but it became like that. And it became like, you know, why the brother can't get on here and just, you know, say his piece, because now he's getting the agenda of, I need to do an album. I need to do my own thing. So it's not X-Clan bringing in the song, because they wouldn't even know what song is next. I go home and write and make the beat at the crib and show up the next day like, yo, this is Earthbound. Yo, this is Funkin' Lesson. And this is such and such. And the only time that they really interjected, now this is where Architect was key. He brought 45 King to do Heed the Word. All right. He did the beat for that. And that beat was solid. I've never had to remix that beat. I've remixed my beats over the years for shows and shit, but I've never had to touch Heed the Word. And that showed me that next tier of production, like get off the doubling and tripling samples and start getting into, you know, into bigger drum shit. You know, the technology wasn't where I wanted it to be, my lord. You know what I'm saying? Right. It was primitive to what we're dealing with now. You know, I wanted what we're dealing now. I wanted big ass drum sounds, and I was stealing from African sounds. Like you notice Tribal Jam, they have talking drums in that sample that I use for that. And that creates a different kind of hum as far as bass is concerned. I don't have to boom, boom, boom. This is going do 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 do, and that's creating a different hum. This is why our music sound different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's the shit that you sample. It's the places of Knee Deep when I did Funkin' Lesson. You know what I'm saying? The things that I was snatching from that record. That's a 15-minute record, damn near. You know what I'm saying? And there's pockets, and the way that you catch things as a DJ and you put them together, you know, it's the same way we put together lyrics. So I was basically showing that. So, you know, all that to say, you can't go on there and be sounding like a mumble rapper or somebody trying to be like a cannabis battle rap type shit. You gotta flow like the niggas used to sample from, you know, a little bit of their shit and then a little bit of the new shit. And that's where your unique signature comes into play, my lord. You know, that unique collage of funk and technique. You know, so, you know, I'm honored that you recognize that, Godbody, you know.
No, I'm definitely a hip hop scientist, bro. Like I can look at things and kind of dissect it. Now, when I kind of look at your style and I'm hearing what you're saying, and you say you had to kind of appease the elders, you know what I'm hearing now in your style?
Yeah,
like a new Gary Bird.
That's deep.
Because Gary Bird is somebody that they fucked with. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
He was doing a form of rap back then. And the way that Gary Bird would get on the mic and be very, you know what I mean, the way of blackness. And he would talk very clearly. You know, it kind of
spoken word style. Spoken word style. He had like a.
And it almost reminds me of yes, blue. Come on to gold on the Black Experience. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly. And you got to do that without sounding square.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, bro. You got to, you know,
square. And that's why I say you made it like the new Gary Bird, where you made it for the hip hop generation, where But by the time it got to our generation, Gary Bird was kind of corny the way he was delivering it. You see what I'm saying? So you kind of like just take a little bit flavor of that, but then yes, y'all. You know what I mean? Like it's that pattern, but then it's like it's genius on so many levels that motherfuckers don't even understand. Like I'm telling you, it was. Let me hang on. Yeah, you need a round of applause. It was fucking genius, man.